Introduce your name and your title for the record.
Sure, I'm Rebecca Rosengard. I'm the product marketing manager for RAV4 at Toyota.
Rebecca, you've got a sleek new RAV4. What generation is this?
It's the 4th generation RAV4.
And what makes the 4th generation better than the 3rd generation?
Well, there's a whole list of things that we could talk about, but we'll start with just the exterior appearance.
Yep.
As you can see from the front to the back, it's completely redesigned with our very angular and pointed headlights with the chrome piece that runs through to the headlight all the way to the end, creating a real cohesive part. This XLE, which is going to be our volume leader, has 17-inch alloys, 5-spoke. We've got integrated turn signals. We've got standard roof rail on XLE and Limited. And when you kind of come around to the back,
yep,
you see perhaps the biggest change for RAV4. No more spare tire on that back hatch.
What'd you do with it?
We put it underneath the rear deck. So it's not gone, don't worry, you'll still have a spare when you need it.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward because you had to open the door and sometimes you'd open it into the curb or the sidewalk, so you couldn't really get your stuff out of it.
Right, we've put a rear lift gate rather than the swing gate, and on Limited models it's got power functionality as well. Also height adjustable, so if you happen to live in a place with a low ceiling in your garage,
yep,
you never have to worry about that rear lift gate hitting up against the ceiling.
Now, in terms of your competition, who is this directly aimed at? What other cars?
Well, you know, it's a really competitive segment.
It is.
So we look at a wide range, but of course the Honda CR-V and the Ford Escape are two that we've got our eye on right now.
And can you open it up, show us
Sure.
the interior volume? Is that more or less than the outgoing model? Do you know?
It's a small amount more.
Yep.
About 4.4 cubic feet more, but while that sounds like a small number, it's actually pretty impressive because we've kept the large capacity while moving the rear, the tire down underneath, and you can see.
That's where you hit it.
Yeah, that's where we hit it. Also, this is our cargo cover, which when you want, you can put it up back here and it covers what you've got in this space, and when you don't want it, you can just put it right here, store it away, and you always have it when you need it. Now,
the old model was kind of a Swiss Army knife, right? You can get it in a 4-cylinder, a 6-cylinder, you can get it in 5-passenger, 7-passenger. This one engine choice, 5 passengers only. Why did you decide to kind of change the shift of the marketing and of the angle of the aim of the vehicle?
Okay, well, our V6 mix was in the teens, and that over time had actually come down from a little bit of a higher number. With the focus on MPG today, really across the automotive industry, but especially in the small SUV segment, we felt like it was best to put our efforts towards refining the transmission here. So we've moved to a 6AT, up from a 4AT, with that 4-cylinder engine. And that helps us achieve up to 31 miles per gallon on the highway with the front-wheel drive model.
I think the old one was 28, is that right? So
yep,
you've got 3 MPG more than the outgoing model.
Yep, it's a pretty good improvement. And with regard to the third row,
yep,
there is a lot of cargo capacity here, but it's really best used to haul your stuff around and not an extra kid or two. So, you know, for customers who are looking for that third row, and only about 5% of our RAV4 customers wanted it in the old generation, we just suggest they move up to a Highlander.
And who's kind of your target demographic? Who do you suspect will buy these?
So we've got a very loyal base of our baby boomers who have loved this vehicle from the time it came out in 1996. But we're also actively going after the 30 and 40-year-old set who we think are really going to appreciate all of the comfort and refinements in addition to the technology and the spaciousness of the vehicle.
So show me the inside. Let's go look at the inside. First of all, will you tell me about the 3 different trim levels?
Sure. RAV offers LE, XLE, and limited grade. Your LE, we're expecting that to be about 30% of our overall mix. and XLE at 40%, and Limited again at 30%. They all offer a ton of standard equipment that customers really demand. For example, the 6.1-inch audio screen that you see on this XLE model is standard across the board.
Go ahead.
And that also includes a backup camera, something that our customers have told us they really appreciate.
Now, new is dual climate control, is that right?
Dual zone automatic climate control. It's standard on XLE and Limited.
And what else is new? What other new kind of gizmos are there?
Well, we've got N-Tune with navigation, which was available on the 2012 model, but it's now available on XLE and on Limited. A new feature as well is the JBL Green Edge audio system, available on our Limited models with 11 speakers in 9 locations. That uses a lower energy drain on the vehicle, so it's more eco-friendly.
And how about the contrasting interior colors? Those are new, aren't they? You call them block,
yep,
I think?
We call it color block.
Yep.
So you can see it on the door panel and you can see it in the interior as well. Limited and XLE come in 3 interior colors. You've got gray, black, and beige. Our LE model comes in beige and gray, and all 3 of them use color blocking. An exciting new color as well on our Limited only is terracotta. So you've got that really rich terracotta color paired with a black soft text, which is standard on all of our Limited models.
I gotta ask you, what's your favorite part of the new car?
My favorite part
yeah.
is just the way it drives. It's got this thing called a sport button, and the sport button remaps the throttle and also changes the electric power steering, and really gives the driver a sense of excitement on the road, something that you might not have previously expected on a RAV4, but now even everyday driving can be a blast.
Yeah, it seems like Toyota is trying to build more emotional cars. Is that part of the strategy here?
It is, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, Akio Toyoda has announced publicly that he's looking to build more exciting cars. We call it wakudoki. It's that heart-pounding racing feeling that you get of enjoyment when you're driving a vehicle. And I think that comes through loud and clear on the RAV4.
Wakudoki, huh?
Mm-hmm, wakudoki.
Sounds like a Willy Wonka chocolate bar.
A lot more delicious, I think, than a bar of chocolate.
All right, last question.
Sure.
I noticed that, especially on the Limited model, there's now leather on the dashboard. Is that something that you think customers are coming to expect? It's kind of an interesting feature in this segment.
Well, on both of our XLE and our Limited models, the dash is covered with a material called Softex.
So it's not leather?
That's a leather alternative, and that's the same material that covers the seats on the Limited grade. And it's, you know, that's a part of the vehicle that you touch a lot, so it's nice to have that soft padded material with that French accent stitching to really, you know, remind you that you're in a nice car and that you should enjoy the drive.
Now, you have lowered the car a little bit, so it's a little bit less off-road worthy because ground clearance is directly related to how well a car can go off-road. Is that because of fuel economy, or do you see that your customers don't necessarily need a car that goes off-road, but need a car that takes them to, I don't know, their cabin at the end of a dirt road?
So the vehicle is about an inch lower ground clearance than the outgoing model, but also the roof line is about an inch lower as well. So those changes were of course made to achieve some aerodynamic improvements, but we also were keen to keep the hip point really comfortable for folks. So it's really easy to get into and out of and to load your cargo into the rear. So we felt like we found the right balance of height and off-road utility for those customers who may want to do a little more exciting stuff on their weekends.
Now I know Nathan described it kind of as a tall Camry. I mean, it's got the same engine, right? So
okay.
Yeah, would you consider that a fair assessment of the car?
I think it sets itself apart from Camry in a few ways. I mean, they're both excellent vehicles, but with the cargo capacity of the RAV4, you really can carry a lot more. It's so much more versatile, in my opinion, for a young family who might have strollers, a trip to the Walmart or the Target, maybe grandparents are in town. So it's something that really can be versatile for the everyday needs of a family.
Great, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.